Bible guarantees it. Oh man, guys, we're getting raptured up out of here tonight. Man, so great. Tonight at midnight, we're disappearing. We're floating up in the air, and we are out. I never realized it. I feel bad for people that believe that you're gonna float up in the air. I really do, because I was one of yous. I was one of yous 7 years ago. I believed the same thing. However, believing it back then wasn't so bad, because believing it now, when that fake rapture happens, you guys are gonna be crushed. Not you guys, like the ones that are regular viewers. The ones from the video that I just was talking about, the bunkers mainly. That's gonna be a fake rapture. And then I caught all these dirty fish. And you know, it's like this. Do you have a sense of humor? If not, you know, what's the point? If you can't laugh at things and you're all dead serious and you're condemning people because they they don't believe the rapture, or it's like a preacher. No, it ain't. You're wrong. It's a preacher. It's a post-trib. It's a mid-trib. You're wrong. The Bible. Where does it say that? So I caught some dirty fish, obviously by the language. You know, what I love is I like grabbing new commenters, you know, because you just get a different perspective, and on top of that, I know it's people that have never watched my video before, and then they get my message, you know. They don't agree with it at all, but that's what's fun about it. They don't agree with it. And then I can see how when I was back in May 2011, I didn't know how God was going to do it. I couldn't never explain it to anybody, where I said we're going to get raptured, and I don't know. I just left that part up to God. But for the people that didn't believe it, I mean, I don't remember pointing my finger at them and cursing at them and giving foul language and then condemning them for it. I just prayed that they would turn to God, because I didn't want them to be left behind living in hell on earth. Then after 7 more years goes by, knowledge increases tremendously, and then I understand that, yeah, it's a lot of things are spiritual in that book, and to be caught up, to be raptured up out of here. And you know, I do appreciate the Pharisees coming over my channel when I catch those fish from a video that I didn't even know that I had no clue it was gonna get more views. I mean, I just, you know, just assume whatever, my views are what they are. They not not too many people can handle the truth, so that's why my view count is short, and I'm fine with that, because I know that the ones that do watch it appreciate my you know, my perspective of whatever it is that I'm talking about. Doesn't even matter what it is, because there's real people, and then there's really fake people. And the really fake people, well, they get, I mean, they're appeasing to their audience. They tell them what they want to hear, and that's just not my channel. My channel is, I tell you what I want you to hear. I mean, wait a minute. Yeah, that's what it is. I don't tell you what you want to hear. I tell you what I want you to hear. Is that the same thing? Hold on. I don't tell you what you want to hear. Yeah, I tell you what I want you to hear. There you go. So that's the difference between my channel and channels like everybody else's. And but again, the whole point is getting to the elite. That was the beginning. That was the main thing, was getting my circumstantial evidence out there to the elite, to let them know that I don't agree with what you guys are up to. And I did it in the beginning, pretty pissed off. I remember the news used to make me sick. You freaking liars, you're disgusting. How can you lie like that? And then now I understand. It's all part of it's what you guys got to do. So I do appreciate listening to scholars, you know, Bible scholars that they just know the entire Bible. And there's one thing about it, you know, the 3 days of darkness. I've never seen where it was at in the Bible either. Like, just like I never seen where it says May 21st, 2019 is the timeline, but it doesn't speak like that. The Bible doesn't say, well, there's going to be 3 days of darkness. The darkness is when the 2 witnesses are silenced for 3.5 days. And then after 3.5 days. So the darkness is, it's not literal, all right? It's spiritual. There's a famine. It's dark days. But the elite will play out the darkness because everybody believes it. So when I listen to the Pharisees type away at the comment section, I still learn from what they're saying, because, you know, it's like, well, the church has to be raptured up out of here first. That's the first resurrection. And then, what happens after the first resurrection? Then there's a 1,000-year millennial period where we're going to pray, and then we're going to come back down, and then we're going to judge the world, and the 144,000, they're dead. They died. They were the babies that died 2 years and under, way back when, and that was it. And they don't live again. So it's entertaining. I mean, YouTube is entertaining. It has gotten me to not be disgusted in life. And that's what it did, for real. And and I met a really good friend, Justin, because of it. You know, and I also came across Stephen, which is the main person. It's like there's 2 main people that I needed to find in this world, and one of them was Stephen. Because I needed him to hear my message of what I know about him. And then the other one is Justin. Because, well, I think we all know why. He knows why, Steve knows why, and I know why. And some other people know why, and others have no idea what I'm talking about. But that's fine, you don't need to know what I'm talking about. But the purpose of all of this is, when I think of it, well, yeah, why? To find the biggest shark in the net, the internet, I call it the biggest shark in my net. And it only makes sense to also find Justin throughout the entire world. And then it also makes sense to actually meet Justin at least one time. And then it makes sense to have Mr. Sharkman get him to be obsessed with me. And I mean, I know you simmered down now, Steve. You're in like incognito, but it doesn't matter because it's already been done. Everything's been written. So many things have already played out, and it's just continuing on. So I like to get new subscribers that swear that they know everything about the Bible, because it's interesting that they believe so wholeheartedly, but with like vile, disgusting anger that is condemning you for saying things like, look, the rapture's not, it's not real. You are not going to float up into the air. Think about it. How are you going to float up in the air? Well, Christ floated up in the air, didn't he? I don't know. Did he? Were you there? I don't know. Did he ascend into heaven? Well, yeah, he did. But then what? What happened after that? Well, Enoch ascended. He walked with God. Well, did he? Where did it say he was? Did it say he floated up in the air and he was? I mean, like, I don't know. What do you? Look, think of it like this. If Enoch was walking the earth and he was married, and he told his wife, you know, getting ready to tell his wife what he had to do because he was going to walk with God, and God took him alive. Isn't that the same as dying, like, to his wife? Isn't it the same thing? So God's just going to take you out, and you're going to disappear, and you're going to leave your wife and your kids behind? I don't know. I really, really critically think about these things, and I don't have nearly all the answers at all. I just have a lot of opinions, and I don't care who says what and where and when and how. I prefer, like, the anger from people. I prefer the disagreements, because all it does is it'll just test me with my my response. You know, it tests me with my patience and my response, and I look forward to doing that. And coming across people now, I look more forward to coming across people now than I ever did before, because I can see that, you know, it's like when me and my wife walk in the park, and you say hi to people. They really don't want to say hi to you. You know, it's like they'll walk down with their head down, like, I'm just another human like you. You know, hey, hi, how's it going? Like, surprised to, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just my neighborhood. Maybe gang stalkers don't expect you to say hi to them. Or maybe none of them are gang stalkers at all. Maybe they're just all regular people. Either way, it doesn't matter. If I think they are, I'll go out of my way to say hello even more, to just see the reaction of, because what happens is this. I remember before, I used to be mad at gang stalkers. They used to make me sick. And then when you start talking to them and you say hi to them or whatever, you realize that, man, most of them are just scared regular people that have a task to do, and, you know, they're just following the freaking AI, you know? They're following AI. AI's telling them what to do. So, yeah, the rapture, man. The rapture's gonna happen tonight. That's right, tonight. We are out, we're done, we're floating away. But here's the only thing, going back to May 21st, 2011. I truly believed it, just like you, right? But I wasn't angry, just like you. And I didn't condemn people for not believing it. I just prayed for them. Today, people who believe in the rapture, and they're just dead set on, we are going, it's pre-trib. I mean, we're out of here. We are out of here. We're not going through tribulation. I don't know where the hell anybody thinks that is in the Bible. I mean, I don't know. I guess you can interpret it how you want. The rapture of the church, it's the 144,000. All right, they've already been raptured up. Their souls have been caught up. It's called repentance. It's like the rapture is repentance. Just call it that. As soon as one person repents, they got raptured up out of here. But they're still walking the earth, and they're still, they can't ever sin again in their spirit, but their body can, of course. They're still living in the flesh. So that was a rapture. When I was in prison for being a criminal loser. I was raptured up out of there when I was in prison after 3 days, because it took me 3 days to wake up from my self-induced Xanax coma that I put myself in. And then I received a quickening spirit May 21st, 2011, because I believed that I believed God would do whatever he wants to do. However he wanted to do it, he was going to do it. And that's exactly what he did. For holding on to the testimony and word of God, you get beheaded. Because people are just walking around with axes chopping your head off. And when you lived back in the day, and that's how they talked, like, man, you know, back in 2000 BC, it's like, hey Peter, I was at the bar, right? I was at the pub, and I was talking about Christ, you know, the Christ that's on his way. Man, they beheaded me for just saying the name of Emmanuel, man. They straight chopped my head off. I was gushing blood everywhere because they talked in a figure of speech. And us idiots these days, we're looking at it like, oh my God, did they really? Wow. And I mean, I consider myself an idiot, so, because when you think that way and you don't logically think of all the other explanations of what things are saying, you just go with the initial first thought, because it's lazy. When you go with the initial first interpretation of a passage, and that's it, and you just don't budge from that ever, even when there's other way, you know, you're being shown other verses that kind of, it's being ignorant, willingly ignorant. And I still remember, speaking of that, I remember Jerry from Light of Truth. I remember that the funniest damn thing was, that's right, fleeing to the mountains. Fleeing to the mountains and saying, well, you know, I mean, woe to those who are pregnant, because, I mean, well, because they can't run fast. Like, do you really believe that, or are you paid to say that? How can you believe that, man? Woe to the what? So we're all gonna run. So we're all gonna run to the rivers, to the mountains in Jordan. Is that what it is? Is that why Jordan's in the picture now? We're supposed to run to the mountains, flee, and then the ones that literally flee to the mountains, like boldly. Clown. Are you scared to death or what? You can't go anywhere. There's nowhere you can go. You can't hide from anything. And on top of that, the Antichrist has to rule, right? They have to make like world peace for a second, and then like the rapture happens, and yeah, I think is that what it is? Is world peace going to be signed on the 15th of May, which is the 70th full year anniversary, and then 3 days later, on the 18th, there's a rapture, right? And then Obama takes over, and then Steve really takes over, but and then for a few days, and then he's destroyed, and then the sun goes down, and then the sun comes back up a few days later. I think that's what's going to happen. That's where I'm foreseeing that. You know, afar off. I'm like foreseeing it afar off. So for those of you that believe in a rapture, look, I'm not making fun of you, because I made fun of my own self for thinking that way, and I think back like, yeah, it's, you know, it's kind of ridiculous, but I had no thought whatsoever that there would actually be a fake rapture 7 years ago. Now, oh my God, is there going to be a fake rapture? You got so many people talking about the rapture, and then you got like rapture hunters, like, I mean, I know what I'm going to title this one. You got these rapture hunters that, it's like they're the rapture police. You put the rapture in your title, and they all swarm to your channel, and then they start telling you about the rapture and how it's you know, it's either the pre-tribulation rapture, the churchgoers believing that, well, soon the church is going to get raptured up out here, and we are not going to have to deal with anything. Oh, man, that's when I say, hey, Satan, go do your job, and do it well, because I thoroughly will enjoy the countenance of their faces when they see, oh, wait, why, honey, why are we still here? Because it's fake, just like I said it was. I mean, I don't, yeah, I mean, I predicted it was fake, so that's so gonna happen. It's so gonna happen. It's gonna be freaking hilarious. I'm gonna see the look on people's faces even by not even seeing them. I'm just gonna know that, oh man, the people that thought, and now I understand why Steve, I understand why he's doing this. You know, with your Joshua James account, it's probably your wife, I think, that's doing the main typing away, but you're still in charge of it. You still have the, you know, you can still check the comments, but I see a lot of the things that you type up. I mean, you're just doing the video with a song with the title, and then you're commenting with like 1,000 different links. But I read through some of them. I see a lot of them are like, to those pre-tribulation rapture believers. It's like, yeah, I know, I get it. You want to show them, you want them to be punished for not believing it, but condemning other people for believing that the rapture is something different, or that it's just fake altogether. So you truly do want them to be crushed in their spirit, so they could turn to God and repent and say, look, I'm sorry. I mean, I believed in the rapture, but I probably shouldn't have condemned everybody else for not believing it. And then now I feel like an idiot because I'm left behind. And I'm sorry, God. I mean, what do you want me to do? And then that's humility. And then it's like, when you see somebody like that, it's like, oh, no, come here. It's okay. It's okay. But before that, it's like, all right, hey, look, believe what you want. Fine. Yeah, good. All right. It's going to happen just the way you think it is. And then we're told that millions of people disappeared. And yeah, the 322 bunker call was to get you prepared from 322 on till now, till today, till April 6th. It's to get you prepared to get in your bunker, okay? Get in your bunker. Now that you guys are climbing into your bunker, today is like moving day. This is what it means for Steve Fletcher anyway, to be raptured. It's code talk, like I said, it's code talk for being raptured, because you're disappearing. And for the next 40 days, well, I'm sorry, you know what? The next 30 days. Because Trump built the wall that's 30 feet high, which is referring to the 30 days. But either way, come 40 days from then, because you got the 30 days where people are gonna, you know, the YouTube channel is gonna be dropping like flies. I did that video just about exactly last year. Matter of fact, last year on the 6th, I did the video. Oh man, I felt great too. I remember, goodbye YouTube. I'm finished with my testimony, and then war will start on the 28th. Even though it started the 7th, but the other war is going to start on the 28th. And then false prophets are it's going to be nothing but false prophets taking over in YouTube. All right, fine. I was 365 days ahead of time. That's what I'm supposed to be. I was supposed to walk with God for 365 days from the time that I set my date. And my date of April 7th, World War III beginning, well, it was the rumors of it. It was the rumors. Now it's going to be the war, the declaration of it. And then we're going to see a lot of channels disappearing. You're going to hear a lot of rumors about it. And so for the next 30 days is the decline. The waters will decrease continually as they prevail exceedingly. And oh yeah, and then Trump was talking about the wall that's blocking water. The wall blocking the gospel, the truth, the water. The wall of, you know, deception, the wall of captivity. You know, the wall up here, the wall over there, the wall, we're being surrounded by the wall. And I'll tell you, man, Trump is saying a lot of things like, he's saying a lot of things like, well, I mean, we'll just see, we'll wait and see what happens. I mean, either way, it's, you know, we'll wait and see what happens. I'd swear he's waiting to see what truly does happen with what I said is going to happen. Because Steve is Trump's boss, script writer, whatever you want to say, however you want to look at it. Steve is the one with all the knowledge about the Bible, right? Spiritual meanings, the dark sentences, the hidden sentences. He knows what they are, so, which means he's the one responsible for writing the world script for the politicians, and mainly Trump. Mainly Trump, because he's the one that's acting like he's fulfilling Bible prophecy. He's acting like he's the Messiah. He's not saying it, but he is. And then, you know, we all know what Steve is, the Antichrist. Well, I know what he is. He's the Antichrist, and he's been exposed. And I'm not sure who's supposed. I googled it. I said, who's supposed to reveal who the Antichrist is, and it doesn't say who's supposed to really do that. But who would? I mean, who's supposed to reveal the Antichrist? Who's the person? Well, like, what is the person's role, or is it a group of persons that's supposed to know who the Antichrist is? Like, who is supposed to reveal the Antichrist? Is the mainstream media supposed to do it and tell you on TV? I mean, are you really going to believe that? Do you really believe that the president is a president and not an actor? Do you really believe that the AMTV guy is not some schmuck, that some rich, spoiled brat that is such a plug, tool, clown that tries to be gangster tough? It's just, you know, whatever. Look, I'm sorry, God. I mean, you made some real characters these days, and I'm one of them. I'm a character myself, but I'm a kind-hearted non-liar. That's like the difference between me and the plugs that are on YouTube. Those tools that are that Satan's using out of his toolbox. A bunch of tools and plugs. So. The rapture's tonight, and we're gonna float up out of here. And if I offend some people that are churchgoers, tough. You should have got out of the churches then. You should have listened to Harold Camping when he said the church age is over. There's no salvation going on in the churches. There's no truth in the churches. The famine has already begun back, 30 years ago, back in 1988. Almost 30 full years ago. 30 foot high wall that's built, and 30-day decree, and then a 10-day tribulation period that they're gonna play that part out too. And let's see, so May 2nd, right? May 2nd, May 3rd, May 1st, one of those days. One of those days, it's a major major shift in spirituality. Yep, major shift. So today is the 6th. We got 30 days in April. 6, 24 more days until the 1st. No, 24, 25. Either way. 30 days since when the 30th would be landing. Doesn't that land like on the 8th, right? May 8th, something like that. Anyway, look, I appreciate everybody who has watched my videos for a long period of time, right? And has, you know, just dealt with my my date setting and even the ones that have given me such a hard time. I appreciate you guys too, because I need those people to give me a hard time. I got to be tested every which way. I can't just have people agreeing with me. I appreciate you agreeing with me, but I don't expect anybody to. And that's the main thing, is this. And I said it to one of the spiritually blind commenters on that video, is I never asked you to believe me, did I? Did I ever tell anybody to believe what I'm saying? And that's where you got to draw the line in the sand. Just draw it right there. I never said believe me. I know that you're not going to believe me. You're not supposed to believe me. And people like Steve Fletcher set dates purposely because that's what he's told to do, is set dates. That way you can be wrong, and then wrong, and then wrong again, and wrong again, and wrong, and wrong, and wrong, and wrong, and wrong. That way, when I come along, because I have a feeling Steve James knew that if the Bible is true, then somebody's going to come along, and they're going to tell us what we're going to do, and they're going to tell us when we're going to do it, on what date we're going to do it on. So when I keep setting dates, everybody else before me, even Harold Camping, ruined it for me. But that's exactly what you guys are supposed to do. You're supposed to ruin it for me. And I am supposed to say, I don't care if you ruin it for me or not. It doesn't matter. I know that the date is going to come around, and it's going to happen. And you're not going to know that it's going to happen until right around that time frame when it happens. That's why I got to set it all ahead of time, because when my channel is shut down, my dates are already out there. I already have proof, evidence of setting it. And then the proof of that coming true is when it does happen. Now again, it could be off a few days here and there, but the point is, when you know what the script is, say it. Say what the script is. And then put a date on it. Because when you already know what the script is, the only thing you're missing is, all right, well then, when is it going to happen? It's not if. It is not if it's going to happen. And I love how people think that we got 7 more years to go. Oh, we're going to be fine. Everything. Oh man, sudden destruction is going to happen. And it's deceptive, and you are going to fall for it. And